Hi guys. So Boris Johnson may be in trouble. Polling is polling, and it's important not to put too much emphasis on what the polls say. The only real opinion we care about, of course, is the one cast on election day. Now, I've said polling can be problematic, and that's putting it mildly. We have been burnt in the past. But like I've said before, polling can indicate a trend. Last year, during when Keir Starmer took over from his predecessor, Labour saw a jump in the polls. But when the country went into lockdown, we saw a switch in support as the public rallied behind the Prime Minister and his party. This changed again, but when the rollout of the vaccine began, Boris Johnson and the Tories retook their lead over the Labour Party. However, as we see England and other parts of the UK begin to reopen, and the fact that the rollout of the vaccine is no longer front page news, the general public are returning their focus to bread and butter issues. This may be to the detriment of Boris Johnson, as his strengths last year were Brexit and until recently the rollout of the vaccines. But now Brexit has been a disaster, and while the UK is a leader in getting jabs into arms, it's no longer the focus in people's minds. The Tories, in a sense, rightly or wrongly, are back to square one. And this is where perhaps Boris Johnson's shine is coming off. Until recently, and by that I mean a few days ago, the scandals around his flat and the crass language regarding avoiding another lockdown didn't seem to be sticking in the minds of the public. However, that may now have changed. If we look at the first poll, which was conducted by Opinium, we can see how since the 21st of April, the Tories have taken a bit of a hit. At the same time, the Labour Party has seen a jump. The other parties have seen minor changes taking place. What is driving this drop in support for the Tories? I believe, and I've said before, this is due to normalisation. During a time of crisis, the public will generally rally behind the party in power. As the public see the crisis dissipating, either rightly or wrongly, their focus will start shifting away. I think Brexit and the bad news connected to it is having an impact. But the rollout of the vaccine was propping up the Tories to a certain extent. I think the jump for Labour could be connected to the rising star of Keir Starmer. He's becoming better known. And there's also a real feeling of disgust with the Tories over the clear examples of corruption and cronyism that we've been seeing over the last number of months. Now, the next graph is puzzling. 6% of those polled think Boris Johnson is completely clean and honest. Are these people living on the same planet as the rest of us? I think these people are disconnected completely from reality and love Boris Johnson because of how he presents himself. These people are beyond converting back to reality. Now, 23% think Boris Johnson is mostly clean and honest. This is shocking, to be honest. It shows a sizable portion of the public still believe that while Boris Johnson is rough round the edges, he's generally honest. However, there is still some sanity. 27% see him as completely corrupt. Now, these people may have always felt this way, so it would have been good to see this question asked some time ago for a comparison. However, the majority seem to think that Boris Johnson is corrupt. Now, we must remember, believing someone is corrupt does not mean that you will not support them. As the country becomes more polarised and tribalistic, I think this is the attitude of, I know he's bad, but I just don't care. This is extremely damaging, not just to democracy, but also to society as a whole, as people are openly advocating for corruption because their guy is doing it. Should Boris Johnson be worried? I don't think so at the moment. However, if Labour are able to maintain their hold on certain councils and even pick up a few, but also if the Tories are thrashed in Scotland, it would become very difficult for Boris Johnson to remain in number 10. We will have to wait and see. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?